Hey, thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. It's June already, June 2022. We're in that halfway portion of the year. Who can imagine we are here already? Now, you know, I try and use these monthly updates to give you an idea of what I'm seeing in the marketplace and what the supply chain is like, and maybe some of the new products that I can see on the horizon. Do apologize if my brain wanders all over the place. There's quite a lot of information in there, and I try and put it in some coordinated fashion, but it doesn't always work. So let's start at the beginning. A number of our subscribers ask, can you tell me what you're seeing as trends? It's quite difficult. I specialize in probably three main areas: wireless, firewalling, and infrastructure. Infrastructure for me being switching and core routing and those type of things. Each area is seeing something different. Sort of in that firewalling, we're seeing much more moving towards identity management, so password management, along with all being rolled in along with that endpoint protection and multi-factor authentication, and trying to make that as one whole big holistic approach to security. We are seeing, what are we seeing in the rest of probably wireless and networking fit together for me? We are seeing that want or that drive for a single pane of glass. That ability to go, I just want to go one place and I want to be able to see all my switches, I want to be able to see all my routers, I want to be able to see all of my access points. I'm going to manage them all in one place. That working from home environment is still changing our buying habits and our need to manage things slightly differently. That's probably my just quick take. Maybe one of the other months I'll be able to drill down a little bit further, but hopefully that gives us a starting point. So let's talk about some of the vendors. We're going to kick off with Ubiquiti. Hey, Ubiquiti supply. I said maybe I came back in June and there would be some change. We are probably seeing a bit of a bleak area probably right now in the camera side of things. So the G4 bullets, the G4 domes, any of the G3 cameras that we had before are really pretty much non-existent. As I mentioned last month, we're not going to really see any of those Gen 1 switches like the US-8-150 and all of that range. We're really only starting to see again the USW range, the second generation switches, and they are taking a little bit of a while to arrive. We have seen a few new products, all right, here. G4 Doorbell PRO, not many of those around, but I'm going to actually give this one away for June. We gave $500 of Amazon vouchers away in May. Do have a look in the comments below this video and you will see the winner. Congratulations to you. But this month of June, I'm going to give this G4 Doorbell PRO away. Great. 2 cameras now. More exciting for most people in the back here, it's actually got a USB-C connector to be able to power it, and there's a converter coming that's going to even allow you to use that to both power it and to give you 1 gig Ethernet. So quite exciting. There's other new products that we've seen. We've seen the next generation USG, so the UXG-Pro, which is a sort of like the next step up from the UDM Pro as a router. We had the USG and the USG Pro 4. Now we've got the UXG Pro. It's got 2 10 gig interfaces and 2 1 gig interfaces, so great front end for the side of things for routing. We're seeing much more supply, obviously, with things like the U6 Mesh, with the U6 Pro and the U6 Long Range, a little bit of slowness sometimes in that U6 Lite. We have obviously got the Dream Machine Special Edition more readily available, certainly here in Australia and in Europe. So we're seeing those type of new products coming in and stock coming through more quickly. We're seeing now more supply in some of the newer Air Max products, so the UISP, Ubiquiti Internet Service Provider. So we've got the UISP switch, the UISP router, and the soon to be released UISP console. Should find all those videos on our channel as well, which is just creating a wireless internet service provider environment that's easily and simply managed in one location. So we are seeing new products arrive. There's quite a few out there at the moment. But at the same time, we are still seeing a significant supply issue. I did say in May that it was probably going to be August, September. Before, I think I said I hoped it would be July, August. I think we're now looking August, September to see better supply lines, especially in the camera side of things. So if you're looking for specific cameras, buy them when they're available, or hang out and be aware of a little bit of a longer lead time. So that's the Ubiquiti side of things. All those other common ones, Ruckus, we're not really seeing much there till 2023, so probably not worthwhile running past there. Cambium, supply is doing okay and fairly consistent. TP-Link for their Armada range, again, a good potential to look at if you are having supply issues for some of the Ubiquiti products, especially those earlier Ubiquiti products like the Gen 5s, the AC Light, AC Long Range, which we're not really seeing many of those come to fruition. Then the Armada range could be worthwhile. In fact, the control panel is almost identical to that of Ubiquiti's, but is provided currently free and hosted. And you don't need a controller. We don't have to use a controller to do it. So those are a couple of ones in there. What else are we looking at? Meraki, I think there are some good. Some of those are only 2 or 3 days lead time to be shipped from the US. But again, be prepared to change your requirements. I know of some customers that I've been talking to over the time that have maybe looked at some of the things like the switches like the MS250, and there's a lead time of like 125 days. But if you're happy to come back down to maybe the MS220 or the MS225, you can reduce those lead times. So I think if you've got some flexibility, you should be pretty good. If you're looking for some of the access points like the MR46E, for instance, the wireless 6 access point, again, that's 140 odd days or so currently, I think, last time I looked. So there are some significant delays there. So you might want to look at some other vendors. Sophos is doing pretty steady. They do have available access points in fairly good supply, sometimes in the back-to-back, so maybe a couple of weeks. But their hardware appliances are shipping fairly solidly. You do maybe have to shop around to find which reseller or partner has availability or has stock availability, but there's certainly some around, certainly where I'm talking from here in Australia. WatchGuard are going pretty well. They do have access points again available. They come in and out of stock, but they are genuinely sitting there pretty well at the moment, so I'm pretty pleased with those. Sonic Wall lead time, again, 2 or 3 weeks, been fairly consistent for months and months and months now. Again, probably anything wireless, you do need to allow yourself a little bit more time on. Fortinet, those lower end units do come in and out of stock. Best option is not to buy them with a bundle, is to just buy them with the hardware and then the subscription separately. That's the easiest way to buy them. There tends to be here in Australia at the moment more of the actual just the hardware appliance, and if you try and buy it with a bundle, you'll often find it and gets back ordered, and you will have some level of delay. So it is best to try and buy it separately. That's a pretty quick rattle through. Just trying to think of any other vendors that I've possibly missed, but that should give you a good update. We are seeing some movement, but it's probably not as exciting as I was hoping for. And hopefully as we move into this latter part of the year, this latter half, and I think as we move towards the final quarter, we should start to see shipments scale up and the speed increase. But I think the same as I've said before, allow time, get your orders in early with whoever you're buying from, just to give you enough time to plan around it. So if you're looking to win this G4 Pro doorbell, real simple, just need you to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you've already subscribed, maybe share it with somebody else. Really appreciate everybody who watches what we're doing, and hopefully it's useful. Maybe you want to comment, more than happy to jump on the comments and reply, give you as much help as I can, but we're going to give that away to somebody who is either a current subscriber and shared it, a current subscriber and written some comments, or a new subscriber at the end of June. So hopefully that's been useful, and thank you so much for popping by my channel.